The Minister of Minerals and Petroleum Resources, Gwede Mantashe, has laid criminal charges and is preparing civil proceedings against mining rights activist Zakhele Zuma, following allegations that the minister embezzled 40 million rand during his tenure as General Secretary of the National Union of Mine Workers (NUM). Mantashe opened a case of criminal injury at Brooklyn Police Station after Zuma, during a public address in Ekurhuleni, accused him of stealing funds meant for mine workers. The minister, speaking to Sunday World publication, said his wife Nolwande Mantashe had sent him the video in which the claims were made. The controversial remarks made on May 31 have triggered a joint response from Mantashe, a criminal complaint and defamation lawsuit now in the hands of the legal team. He said, "The chap is just defaming me. I do not even know him. I'm not interested in a letter of demand. Lo mfana uyageza. This boy is crazy. I want him to answer in court." According to the police statement, Zuma told the crowd that a mining company had disbursed 40 million rand to compensate former employees, but Mantashe, who held a senior union post at the time, pocketed the money. Zuma claimed that this took place in 1999 when Mantashe was NUM General Secretary. Mantashe strongly denied ever receiving such payment and said that the accusations pose a threat to his reputation and public standing, and said, "This is a serious matter. As a public figure and a government official, I cannot allow lies to define me." The minister also claimed that Zuma's allegations were not merely defamatory but politically motivated. He accused Zuma of being a proxy for the Umkhonto weSizwe Party led by former President Jacob Zuma, and said, "I am convinced that this boy is mobilizing support for the Umkhonto weSizwe Party. That organization of his looks like something Jacob Zuma will set up to push a political agenda." Zuma leads a non-governmental organization called the Land and Mineral Movement, which advocates for the native South Africans' rights to mineral wealth. He has been an outspoken critic of Mantashe in the past, including spearheading a protest at the DMPR offices in October last year, calling for an end to raw mineral exports. In an earlier video, Zuma claimed his life was in danger, directly implicating both Mantashe and President Cyril Ramaphosa. He alleged that unknown men posing as police officers visited his home, saying they had received intelligence that he was hiding a bomb. Despite these alarming claims, Zuma continues to make public appearances and has not retracted any of his accusations. Mantashe remains resolute in pursuing justice, stating that the court will be the proper forum to expose what he calls malicious lies, and said this isn't about silencing criticism. It's about defending my integrity against reckless and politically charged falsehoods. The case could set a significant precedent for how defamatory claims made by activists and political actors are dealt with in the public sphere, especially in a climate where political tensions remain high ahead of the 2026 elections. Meanwhile, the former Chief Justice Raymond Zondo has backed a call for a criminal investigation into Mineral Resources Minister Gwede Mantashe based on the State Capture Commission's findings. Zondo, whose tenure at the Constitutional Court ended last year, deposed an affidavit at the Johannesburg High Court on 16 May, responding to claims made by Mantashe in his review application, citing that the Commission acted beyond its mandate by suggesting that he should be subject to a criminal investigation. In the affidavit, Zondo is adamant that there was nothing untoward in the findings against Mantashe, citing that the Commission merely made a recommendation to law enforcement authorities. He stated, "The Commission did not find that the applicant Gwede Mantashe was guilty of corruption, or even that there was a prima facie case of corruption against him. It found merely that there is a reasonable prospect that a further investigation will uncover a prima facie case against Mr. Mantashe." Zondo further argues that it is surprising that Mantashe does not express the notion that the findings subject him to harm, and said Mantashe does not contend that the finding has done him any harm. Any reasonable reader will understand that in the important part of the report, the Commission only went as far as to raise question for further investigation. His response to the Commission's finding and recommendation should have been that he would await the outcome of such further investigation as may be undertaken by the law enforcement agencies. In July 2022, it was reported that Mantashe embarked on legal bid to set aside damning corruption allegations contained in the state capture report. The commission extensively recommended that he be criminally investigated by the police for accepting Bosasa's installation for security systems. Mantashe argued that this was beyond the scope of the commission. It was acting outside its terms of reference in probing corruption which took place in the public office. In his affidavit, Mantashe disputed the evidence given to the commission by former Bosasa chief operations officer Angelo Agrizzi, citing that he had never met him in his life and that his evidence to the commission was completely untrue. Agrizzi had told the commission that Bosasa had sponsored security upgrades at Mantashe's home in the Eastern Cape. However, Zondo said in court papers that the commission properly dealt with evidence given by Bosasa, and said the commission concluded that the evidence overwhelmingly established that Bosasa, its leadership, employees and associates were able to gain illicit control over the procurement process of departments and organs of the state through systematic and aggressive targeting of public officials with offers of gratification in the form of bribes and a range of other material benefits. He also said that Bosasa's evidence implicated former President Jacob Zuma in alleged wrongdoing. The papers stated Bosasa sought out officials across different levels of senior within the state, ranging from former President Zuma at one end of the spectrum to municipal officials and employees of state-owned entities at the other end. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.